So good morning, everybody. Today is April the 26th, 2022. My name is Keelan Johnson, if you don't know, and I am the manager for the territory here, the market sales manager. And I am excited. I'm super excited today to be on the line with y'all and help everyone out. Numbers are going up. Everybody is starting to write business. It's really good. We're protecting a lot of families. And I think everybody kind of knows their goal per month. And I just can't be more excited. I mean, it's just it's good to see people and see the different faces and all the faces that are writing business and protecting families. So I'm super excited today. Again, my name is Keelan Johnson. I've been in the insurance business about 22 years, and that is a little bit about me. So I cut my teeth in the insurance business with a company called Pennsylvania Life. Went on to be a farmer's insurance guy. Ran that. I had my own agency out in small town Brady, Texas. And then I ran an independent agency for 6 years. And then after that, I was the business consultant for Farmers Insurance and a district manager. And since 2016 now, I've been with Security National Life. So it's going on my 6th year with Security National Life as the market director here. So enough about me, because I couldn't do it without you. So that's what's important about it, is you and you seeing families. So today I want to just really kind of keep it short for you. I know I've been doing a lot of webinars and a lot of trainings and things. And again, if you have any of them that you've missed, I've got 2 that I need to put up. But right here in my recorded trainings, if you see this website up top, finalexpenselife.us. So finalexpenselife.us. That is my training website. That is where you'll find my weekly recorded trainings. When you click right in here, it'll take you over to my YouTube channel, which houses all of my videos that I have been producing on a weekly basis. So I've got them all the way back to back into 4/1, so over a year ago. So dig through those a little bit if you've got some time. Maybe there's a topic you want to know about. If something you were interested in, using your peer groups or centers of influence, 2 ways to sell a policy, online web application, top producer interview over here, branding yourself, paper application, which is what we're going to do today. So it's been a month or so ago since we've done that, and the different ones that will be today and last week's. So jump around there. If you need some more help on a certain topic, feel free to call me or text me or whatever, and let me know if you have a certain need. And because I'm here to help, that's what I get paid. I get paid by the company to help you, and I love it. And so if I don't hear from you or know you're there, then I don't know you're there. So I'm going to do one thing today. I'm going to let me look at something here. I'm going to expose myself to, hello everybody, I'm here, and so I'm a real life person. Yes, those are my animals behind me, so I like to hunt. So just let everybody know I'm a real life person, and I'm not just a picture on a wall. So would love to visit with you anytime you need help. So good morning everybody, and Hector and Aurora, Sarah, Gerardo, Sandra, Maru, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Terry, Gilbert, Camille, Brandy, and EJ. We've got a great group today, so I want to help every single one of you. So again, my training website, Final Expense Life, that's where I usually go. You want to do any trainings, and that's where I think you should go when you want to learn some things and or gather up some information, or go down here and look at the tools that I've provided. And so I'm super excited about that. All right, but today I want to focus on one simple thing, and that is how to complete a paper application properly. So it's really important that we spend time to know how to complete the paper application, how to ask the questions to the client. Last week, if you missed it, I'll go back and put it on the recordings. I did a presentation, how we present the product to people. So really, the key steps in this process is finding your client, and we can talk about that on another one, about buying leads or your centers of influence or your peer groups or your family, or you set up a table, or however you find your leads, however you find your people. That's the first step. And then the second step is is presenting the products. So we've got to present the product to them, what the benefits are, why we're good, what we can do for them. And then thirdly, it's about processing the application. So those are all three of the baby steps or the small steps in completing an application. Whether you do it, as you well know, whether you do it online with the web app here, as you can well see, I helped a gentleman this morning on that web app. And again, we did a video on that the last couple of weeks on a web application. Very simple process to go through there and do that. Again, I'll rehash. If you haven't written a policy on yourself, be a part of the company, be a part of the plan and the process. Write a policy on yourself. You get full commissions on it, and it's free the first year. Actually, some of you may make money on it the first year with the commissions there. Plus, it just gives you clout because you can see and you can show, as y'all all see and y'all know, that I go back in here and I wrote a policy on myself underneath the tools section. As you can see, underneath the tools section in the illustration of coverage down here on the bottom, this is actually my policy. And this is one I wrote on myself. And I think all of y'all have seen this, but you can use it if you want. But this is my policy, and you can clearly see that I bought it when I was 41. And gosh, how time flies when you're having fun. So I've already got some good cash value built up in that. I'm on my 6th or 7th year. So I've got $1,300 I could cash out and be done with it if I wanted to. And then I've got loans. I could take a loan on it, and then I could do over here a paid up. So I could take a paid up benefit, which means I take a reduced amount of face, but I have a paid up policy. Okay, so we have a really good with the interest rates the way the market is right now, and we're paying 4.5% interest rate on our policies, on our whole life policies. That's very good. So this is for anybody at any age. The building blocks of a good life insurance program is a whole life policy. At the very bottom of it, everybody needs this, and everybody will use this at one point in time if you pass away. I'm just saying. So when you're talking to clients, be sure you tell them, hey, listen, I know that you might have an IUL and it may look fluffy and big and can earn money and things. That's okay. You may have a term policy that goes for 10 or 20 years and covers a few things there. But at the very end of the day, whole life policies like these are the ones that you find when someone passes away. They're the ones you find in the sock drawer, the ones you find in the safety deposit box, the one you find in the file folder and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe dad had this or mom had this or whoever it may be. And that way you're able to financially help them take care of their final needs and final wishes. Okay. So very important that you become a part of the solution and not just presenting the solution. And that allows you to write your own policy. So let's say paper application. Okay. So 2 ways again to sell policies. As we well know, I'm going to check my questions over here. Okay. I'm good on questions. We sell it in person. Okay. We sell it in person or we sell it over the phone. Okay, thank goodness for we developed this process because some people these days don't want you coming in their home. Some people just say, hey, listen, can we do this over the phone? Hey, listen, I'm kind of scared of COVID still. Hey, listen, my house is a mess. Hey, listen, you're 200 miles away. Yeah, let's just take care of this over the phone. Take care. As long as you have trust and the people have trust in you, it's a great process, a great opportunity to take care of things over the phone because it allows you to do it simply and easy. And it's just an easy web application to where you type it in right here, and then you call the company and do a verification. Now, here's the thing. For those of y'all that are good typers and people that carry around tablets, if you are that kind of person, that's okay. You can still go out to the people's house and still sit with them and still type everything you want into the computer versus doing a paper application. So if you like that way and you like that process, go for it because you can do, the web app here and you can easily type it in and take care of the business there. Okay, so very important part there. But we're going to go back to the basics, is what we've had around for years and years and years, is how to sell a policy in person. You gather your supplies, you complete the application, and then you send it to the company. Okay. So when I get my application in hand and it's all ready to go, how do I send it to the company? So I'm kind of starting from the back to the front. Well, if you have a paper application, you can either, number one, if you're taking notes, you can scan it into the system, scan it with your scanner, and then upload it and find it and upload it, okay, from the upload button. Or, and if you need my help on this one, let me know. If you get your Security National Life agent dashboard on your phone, okay, so you can go here. Basically, you can go to Security National Life right here.com. Okay, and when you bring up securitynationallife.com on your phone, you hit this button over here to the right. It says Agent Login. Okay, and every one of y'all know your information on your login. You should have your username and password. So you take this to your phone, you open this up right here, and then you save this URL, save this website to your phone. Okay, so if you've got an iPhone, you can look at the bottom of it, and there's a little square with an arrow going up to where you save it. If you've got an Android, so save it to your phone. If you need help, ask your kids or grandkids or whoever, because they probably know better than we do because they use them all the time. But save this to your phone as a shortcut or whatever. That way, what happens is that when you open this up on your phone right here, and you can see it on your phone, all you got to do is hit this upload button. It's pretty cool. And then you just take a picture of it with your phone. So you're literally just hovering over the application, the paper application with your phone, and shooting 5 pictures of it, or 4 if you don't have the COVID form, and sending it to the company immediately. Never have to upload it, never have to do any of that. Okay, so it's very easy. So again, on the paper application, you upload it here either by scanning or taking a picture of it. Okay, if you need help with that process afterwards, call me or let me know, and I will get you set up and we will get that taken care of. But if you're still a scanner person, you want to scan it at your office, whatever, perfect. You can do that and upload it here. All right. So let's look right here in our applications. I want to take you straight to an application, and I'm going to use my little shortcut down here on my training website. I'm going to go right down here on to download your state apps. I'm going to go right in here to Texas. Okay. So we have right here the Simple Security Plan application, Simple Security Plan application completion brochure, the Security Care Plan, which is our second policy, our iCare. Okay, and then look right down here for all of those that y'all wanted, is a Spanish Simple Security applications. We have all of our, we have the Simple Security Plan, and I think the other one in Spanish. So if you prefer Spanish or your client prefers Spanish, then you can click right there and download the Spanish application, and it will take you straight to there. Simple Security Plan application. So I'm going to jump right in here. These are 2 different things. You'll see this is the actual application that you can print off and you can actually fill out. That's there. Okay. If you want to go to the actual completion brochure right here, you can go here and this will take you. So I'm going to stay right here a little bit because I like the color coded. I like the way it's color coded and things. Actually, you know what? I'm going to switch back over to the other one. I think I can draw better on the other one. No, I changed my mind. So this is a color-coded example of how to fill out an application. And if you read it real slow and you just take your time, it's very, very simple the way we have the paper application process here. So very simple application process here and very easy to follow. Okay. So let's look right here. And this also, for those of y'all that have completed a web application, this also follows the same rules as the web application. So you'll see it, it'll go step by step. But I just want to kind of get your mind thinking about, okay, when I do an application, who am I talking to? What am I asking them? What information is needed? Okay. So I strongly suggest too, anytime that you're going to do a web application, okay, so if you're doing a web application, anytime on this one right here, then I strongly suggest at that point in time, you have a paper application out to the side of it also, and that will help you when you're writing the information down. That way, if you ever get lost in this web application, you can go back and look and say, oh yeah, I wrote his or her age over here, or height and weight over here. Okay, and I wrote it on there. So red, here we go. Let's just rock and roll through this. Red is the what? It's where the named insured goes. Okay, it's where the named insured goes right there. Red is, here's your name, here's your gender, here's your birth date, height and weight. Be sure you check the height and weight chart. Remember, everybody, we need you to check the height and weight chart because you don't want to get into a situation to where they weigh more than what you can cover. Okay, so if you go a height and weight chart there, you want to make sure they fall within these guidelines. And a little secret news coming out, and everybody should applaud, is that we're going to be adjusting our height and weight charts coming up soon. And you will see a little bit more lenient height and weight chart. So that's always good for the client. But make sure right now that they fall within these guidelines, if you know what I mean. Because I don't want you to get into a situation where it comes back and says, well, you are too heavy for that plan. So that's very important that you check that height and weight really well. Okay. So we've got that. We've got the city they were born in right here, and then the state. Okay. And then the social security number or TIN for everybody on the line here. Also remember, we can write clients with just TIN numbers. Okay. That's a good news. TIN number, tax identification number. That's a little bit thick there. Okay. And then the birth, wherever they were born. Okay. So now we've got the insured's information going on here. Now we're going to go to the owner. The owner can be a different person than the insured. Lots of times the insured is the owner. So if you do get the situation where the insured is the owner, then put this right here. It's got, well, I didn't draw it very well. NA, put NA, not applicable. Okay. That just means that the insured is the owner. The same thing goes with the payor. If the payor is someone different, that's fine. Go ahead and put their name there. If they're not, then put the same thing. Put your NA here. Okay. Not applicable. All right. Now, beneficiaries. This spot holds one beneficiary. So if you have two beneficiaries, you know, or whatever it may be that want to split it, you'll need to write it on a separate piece of paper and attach it to the back. Contingent beneficiary. That just means that if something were to happen to the insured and the primary beneficiary all at once, then you would go to the contingent beneficiary. What are we trying to figure out? Well, we're trying to figure out whether this person is a preferred client, a standard client, or a modified client. And for brand new people, I think y'all remember, may not know, but I think you do, but our modified, what is on modified, basically it is a 2-year return of premium plus 10%, which means this. Preferred and standard is a day one coverage. And then modified basically says that if anything happens to you from natural causes, now listen to that, from natural causes, then the client's beneficiary will get return of premium plus 10%. Okay, in the first 2 years. Now, if the person passes away in an accident, the first 2 years, they get full face amount. Then what happens on the policy on the 25th month, which is only 2 years, 25th month, it will go to the full face amount. But again, you got to realize these people that you're talking about are people that are here in section 3 section 3 that are going to be COPD, chronic heart failure, blood thinners, seizures. So they've got some issues. So we want to make sure that we're in good shape there. All right. Let me go this down a little bit. Pinch it down. I can't. There we go. So now we're trying to figure out how the person's going to pay. Our preferred method is EFT. That's bank draft. Okay. EFT bank draft. That's the most inexpensive way to do it. It stays on the books the longest. It doesn't, the numbers don't get compromised. And you can go in there and find routing numbers. I hope you know that. So if I go in there and I look up and I want Bank of America. Okay. So Bank of America routing number. Okay. So I can find look right there, Richmond, Virginia. There's a routing number, 151 rows. What Bank of America? So routing numbers, okay, are actually they're public information. Okay. So you can help your client. If you're in there with your client and they say, well, I've got my account number, but I don't know my routing number, you can just Google up that, or you can call that bank and go, what is your routing number? What is your routing number? And get that just on the drop of a dime. We do take direct bill, which means if the people just have cash and that's all they have, you can take that first month's premium from them and you can grab that premium. You'll have to go get a cashier's check or money order and then send it to the company at the address above. Okay. You'll have to get that and then send it to the company above. A debit card, you know, at last case scenario, you can take those. Just know that these things get compromised quite a bit. And when they get compromised, then, you know, the numbers change when the new one comes out, and then there you are. Okay. The numbers change, then there you are with that situation. Monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, and annual. We don't have a lot of those pay. I mean, yes, we do. You're going to check EFT monthly mainly. We don't have a lot of quarterly pay or semi-annual, but you can. Over here, you're just going to put the face amount, you know. Oh, that's a little big. Let me get down here real quick because it's the smallest we can go. So let's say 15,000. And then you're going to put the premium, whatever the premium is right here. Okay. Okay, so let's say $56. 23. That's kind of off right there, but I can't squeeze it anymore. There we go. Okay, so then the riders, if they have any rider, remember on the riders for brand new people, you can go in here and match this face amount with the accidental death benefit of 15,000. So if you want to, you could go in here and put, you can put $15,000 here, and that's going to give the client, and then you could put $10,000 right here on the child rider. Okay. But basically your accidental death benefit is going to go in there and double indemnify. So if you have 15,000 in face amount, you can have 15,000 accidental death, which means that if they were to pass away in an accident, it would be $30,000 coverage for the family. 30,000 coverage for the family. All right. And then your child rider, $10,000 on child rider. Okay. So $10,000 there on child rider. And that means basically on the child rider that the kids have to be under the age of 18. So write that down. They have to be under the age of 18, and they fall off of the policy when they're 25. So they fall off when they're 25. So under 18 and fall off at 25, but you can't add those. We don't have a lot of people that usually do that, especially on the simple security plan, because remember, these age groups on the simple are 40 and above. Okay, so your age at least has to be 40 in this box on these. If not, you do the security care plan. So we're talking today about the simple security plan, which is 40 to 90. Amount of money paid with the application, typically nothing unless you're getting cash. That's fine. Now, so pay attention right here on this one, because this is very important. A lot of people have a little trouble with this. Does the proposed insured receive Social Security, disability, VA, or VA disability? Yes or no? If they do, then they actually get paid on a specific day of the month, which especially on Social Security. So if this is a yes right here, then they're going to get paid on the second, third, or fourth Wednesday of the month. That's very important when writing final expense policies, because we want to make sure that that $56.23 is drafted on the day that they have money in the bank. On the day that they have money in the bank. So it's very important that you do that. Okay. Now, if not, if they don't, and if they're not, if they just want to basically, pay it on a certain time of the month, a certain day of the month. My eraser, come on, eraser, erase it. Okay. If they just want to pay it on a certain day of the month, then basically you can go in here and say, okay, what day is best for you to pay your premium? Let's just say the 15th. Do it in red just because it's easier to see. For some reason that blue is not easy to see there. 15th of the month. Okay. So what's going to happen here? So let's look at this closely. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, when this policy goes into place and we send it to the company, do you want that to be immediate or not? Okay. So we've got two questions. Here's the first question. Question number one, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, do you want this policy to be effective immediately when it goes to the company? Yes or no? And then the second question right here, question number two, is that, okay, then what day do you want of the month it to normally come out? Okay. So let's take a scenario. Yes, Keelan, I want the policy to go effective immediately. Then I put yes right here. And then I say, okay. And then you want the 15th of the month. Yes. Okay. So we've got a policy going in today on the 26th of the month. Just walk with me here. on the 26th of the month. Yes, it's going in. We're going to issue the policy, $15,000, $56.23 a month. Now, this client chose the 15th of the month to be their next draft date. But I don't know if you can see the bottom of my computer here, but today is the 26th of the month. Oh gosh. So let's say here, today's the 26th, the 15th of next month will be June the 15th, and that's less than 30 days. So in this case in point, because the 15th is less than 30 days from today, our company will not draft another payment on this account till July the 15th. So that gives the client a month of June without a payment. Okay, that would give the client a month without payment. Okay, so let's take the second scenario. So I want you to be real clear on this. No, Keelan, I don't have money in the account right now, so I can't draft upon approval. So I'm going to go, okay, do not draft upon approval. All right, but guess what it's going to do here? I'm going to erase this if I can. Figure out my eraser somehow. Erase. Okay, I'll just draw over it then. So this is going to be an X right here. And then now we're going to do June. So what does this look like? June. So now if you look at the application, we have a client that does not have money in the account now, has no money. So for all of y'all that are listening here, if they don't have money now, that's okay. We can still write the policy. We can still put it into play. We can still get it approved. Okay, that's very important. We can still do all those things right there. And then we won't start the policy though till June the 15th, Okay, so if they don't have money now, let's go ahead and get the policy going, and then we can post date it up to 30 days. Okay, so I hope that kind of makes sense for everybody. On the two questions, do you want it now or do you want it later? And when is the best time for you to pay these on a monthly basis? Because we want to make sure you have the money in the account. All right, so let's see if I can erase some of this stuff here. So clean up my application a little bit here. Okay, we're gonna clean that up. All right, so replacement. So we've got a replacement question here. We don't do a lot of these, but if you just find a policy out there that you have to replace because the premium's too high or they wrote it wrong, you can do this and you can replace. But here it is. So focus on this a little bit right here. This says, do you have an existing life insurance policy or annuity? That doesn't mean that just do you have one? That means, are you going to be replacing one? Most of the time, it's always no. Okay, so just know that. You don't have to have the physician's name here. It's not required. The only time we would ever use it is if it's a case in point to where the person passed away within that first 2 years period, and there may be in that at that point in time, with every policy in the world, there's a contingent look back period for the insurance company to see, hey, were there some medical issues here before we, when we wrote the policy? So they have a free look back for 2 years. Other than that, we won't use it. All right, so we're down to the questions. So here's how we go through this. Okay, here's how we go through and asking the client the questions. Okay, so I'm going to try to. I've got a lot of people on the line here, which is good. I need a volunteer to unmute their microphone if they can. I need a volunteer, please. Please. I know somebody will unmute their microphone and be my client. Who can unmute?
I'll go ahead and unmute.
Sandra, yay. Thank you, Sandra. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
All right. So, hey, listen, so I'm going to pretend you're my client. This is how I ask you the questions, okay?
Okay.
So, Sandra, I'm going to ask you a few questions here to make sure you qualify for the policy, okay? And I'll make it pretty simple and sweet and short, but I've got to ask you a few things, okay? Do you use nicotine?
No.
Okay. And you can make this up. This doesn't have to be exactly for you. You can just make it up, so whatever. So here's the knockout question. So I want to ask you these questions also. Have you been in the hospital and stayed overnight in the last 30 days?
No.
Within the last 30 days, have you had a seizure?
No.
Okay. Now, what you're going to find too, on the next page, it's going to ask about seizures. We do write people that are on seizure medications, and that's okay. We'll put them in our modified, but they can't have had one in the last 30 days.
Okay.
Sandra, on number 3, Sandra, do you need assistance with your daily activities of life, dressing, eating, personal hygiene, or anything?
No.
Okay. Sandra, in the last 90 days, have you been diagnosed with tumors or cancers?
No.
Now, this is also except basal skin. Okay, so that's okay. We can do that. We're just talking about internals. Okay.
Okay.
Sandra, in the last 30 days, have you been diagnosed with? And this, so be real careful on this question right here. This is where a lot of people have some problems, because when people are in their 70s or 80s, then they are a lot of times on these medications, because they'll go to the doctor, and the doctor's, how are you doing, Miss Jones? Well, I'm doing good. I'm just forgetting things, and blah, blah, blah. And they say, well, I can give you some medication for that. And then they prescribe them with some small dosage of this Alzheimer's or dementia medicine. And that's where it kind of goes south from there, because if they have that and they don't know they're taking it, or they started taking it and it made them feel bad, or whatever it may be, then it will come up on our prescription report and we will find it. Okay. So make sure that you dig into that a little bit more. Some cultures in some places also are known for hepatitis C. We're looking at changing that in some apps coming up to where hepatitis C will be, on the curable, because it is curable in some case and point. So look for that to come. All right. Dialysis. Sandra, are you on dialysis?
No.
All right. And then you've got your standard HIV question. Okay. There. So as long as Sandra is no all the way down here, we are good to go to section 2. Okay. We are good. Any yes over here, then we have to kick it back and we have to jump over into what we would call our MIB plan. If you see at the bottom, monthly increasing benefit plan. And I'm not going to go through that one today, but that is an option there in that case in point. Well, good. So we're going to go to section 2 here on page 2, and we're going to go to the top of this one. Let's see if I can do this without scoot it over. All right. All right, Sandra. So you made it to section 2, which is wonderful. So I'm going to ask you a few more questions, and we'll get through this. Okay.
Okay.
Section 2 right here. Section 2 is basically talking about insulin diabetics. So basically what we're looking at right now, if you look down here on question number 15, okay, if you look at question number 15, it's going to talk about, does the person take 100 units or more of insulin right here? So basically what we're trying to see is that if they are an insulin diabetic and they take more than 100 units, it's going to be down here. But if they take less than 100 units, and let's say they take 60 units or whatever, then we're going to put it right here, and this will be a yes. Okay. So this is basically just saying, are you a diabetic in section 2, and are you taking insulin, and how much? So this section needs to be 100 units or less. Okay. So less than 100 units. Okay. Sandra, are you an insulin diabetic?
No.
Okay. We're going to go to section 3. Good news. Section 3, be very, very careful in this section, because this reads like here. If you read this question right here, within the past 2 years, has the proposed insured been diagnosed, tested positive for, treated, prescribed medication, or been given medical advice by a licensed member of the medical profession for any of the following medical conditions? But if you read this, and if I take out these words right here, I'm going to take them out within the past 2 years. Well, I'm not. Has it? Let me erase it real quick. Within the past 2 years, has the proposed insured been, if I erase this though, then it jump it over, been prescribed medicine. So here's the situation. Let's say you've got someone right here that had bypass surgery, okay? Bypass surgery maybe 6 years ago. Well, that's outside the 2 years, Keelan. Well, yeah, but guess what? They're still prescribed medication. They're still taking blood thinners for that, okay? They're still taking blood thinners for that, okay? That's prescribed medicine right there. Still taking blood thinners for this prescribed medicine, okay? So just be careful there when you're talking to them, because some people think, oh gosh, that's outside the 2 year range, and I'm good to go, but no, it's not. Okay, so let's look at these questions here. Sandra, within the last 2 years, have you had any problems with your heart?
No.
Angioplasty, stent bypass. Okay. And you can kind of ask it like that. Anything wrong with your heart? So if you think about a person, I'm going to do this and it may help you. I'm a visual guy, so bear with me here. I want to draw here. I'm not going to do a very good job probably, but I'm going to try it with my hand here. I'm going to draw a little stick person. That's a stick person. Can be a girl or boy, whatever it may be. And I want you to just kind of think of it this way. Okay. So when I ask the question number 9, okay, so I'm asking Sandra, hey, how's your heart? That's like your neck, but anyways, you know what I'm getting. There's your heart. Sandra, have you had any cancers in the last 2
No.
years? Now, here, this is an important question here because remember, this is a 2-year period. So if this person right here has had cancer, okay, if they've had cancer, but they're cancer free, then we just need to write down when were they cancer free, how long have they been cancer free, and if they've been cancer free for 90 days, remember the first question, in less than 2 years, we can write them in this modified. If they've been cancer free for 2 years, this is actually a no, and we can write them a preferred. So think about your cancer question if you're writing it down. Up to 90 days with cancer, cancer free, decline, over 90 days, modified, that's where it goes. And then after that, 2 years, we can go back to preferred. Number 11, Sandra, anything wrong with your noggin, your brain disorders or strokes or anything?
No.
Okay, what about number 12? What about your lungs? Anything
No.
wrong with your lungs? Okay, that's where all this comes. I'm sorry, let me go back. 12 is the heart again. 13 is lungs. Okay, 13 is your lungs right here.
Okay.
So that's asking about that. So think about those. 14, no. 14, anything wrong with your kidneys or your liver? Okay, so we're going down to kidneys and liver. Anything wrong there?
No.
Okay, remember 15 right here. 15 is our diabetic question. Be careful right here because this is a drug right here that's always kind of gets our agents. It's neuropathy and it's called gabapentin. So this is where you're going to run across a drug called gabapentin. Now, here's the second part of that. Gabapentin can be used for diabetes, or it can also be used for nerve pain or leg pain. So we need to ask that question if they're on gabapentin. What are you taking it for? And so most of the time, if they're diabetic, that's what it's for. But sometimes people have it for, they got an accident, it's nerve pain or whatever. Okay, so that's a question there on that one. 16, Parkinson's disease, lupus, muscular dystrophy, Downs, and then seizures of any type, any of those.
No.
Okay. Now, if you have a Downs case, it's a one-on-one. You can call me and we'll talk about it. I'll get you with an underwriter. They have to be a mild case of it to where they're cognitive enough to understand the policy and understand what they're getting. Sometimes we run across lupus, which is one that comes across a lot. And then people that are taking medicine for seizure, we can still write them over here. They're just going to be a modified, which is perfectly fine because they're probably not going to get policies in other places.
Okay. What about lupus?
Lupus? Yeah, we can write this a modified. It's right here.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be on the modified plan here. Paranoia, schizophrenia, major depressive disorders, okay? Hospitalization. So again, if they are minor depressive, if they got depression, but it's minor, we can write on a preferred. So make sure you just look at the drug they're taking. Make sure you understand if it's major or minor here, okay, on that one. Have you been advised to have a medical test, treatment, or surgery that hasn't been done yet?
No.
Okay. And have you been treated in a medical treatment or counseling for drug or alcohol?
No.
And do you use a wheelchair, walker, or hospital or oxygen?
No.
Okay. And we are one of the few companies too that will write people on oxygen. So just know that if you're walking around the neighborhood and you see somebody says oxygen, don't run from it, go to it, because we are one of the few companies that will write people on oxygen in COPD, which is good. So this is probably the most important part. Thank you, Sandra. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Awesome. So you're going to be a great agent. This is a part right here to where it's very important. So we need to fill this out to the best of our ability. And no matter if the medication applies to something above or not, we still have to fill this out. So here's how you do it. I'm on high blood pressure. I'm on blood pressure medicine. So I've got amlodipine. How much, what's my dosage? 20 milligrams. How long have I been taking it? How many years have I been taking it? Okay, so I'm going to fill that out too for 4 years. Okay, very important. Over here, what is the medical condition here that has to do with high blood pressure? Well, there's not one, so I would put in NA, not applicable. Now, if it is a blood thinner or has to do with the congestive heart failure medicine or heart disease medicine or lung disease medicine, that's when you would fill out the medical question that it correlates to, But right here, it's going to be high blood pressure. We're good. Okay. So let's do another one here. All right. So let's do another one on cholesterol medicine, which is good. That's still preferred. I got cholesterol. Okay. I'm going to atorvastatin. Atorvastatin. I think that's right. 50 milligrams and for 3 years. Okay. And so this is important because this is where when you fill out an application, you're gathering all the data from the client, and that's how you make your commissions. That's how you make your money. That's why we pay you the money, is to be out there, and why Security National does that, to pay you to be the eyes and the ears of the company, to do your best. If you back off this screen and you just look at it, we need your best evaluation of this person that you can give us, because that's going to help us in underwriting. You know, we have to make money. In order for you to make money, in order for us to make money, we have to underwrite these policies properly so that we don't get into a situation where we're paying a bunch of death claims and then we can't do it anymore. Okay, so very important there that we get these things right. So work on that, practice on that a little bit, but make sure let's just say they're on, warfarin, which is a blood thinner. So we put question number 9 here, and then we put, okay, I think I spelled that, but that's okay, FA. And then this is, well, that's going to go here. So we've got heart condition, and we got the medicine here, and then we've got the milligrams and how long they've been taking it, and so forth and so on. So you kind of get the gist. No matter if the medicine applies or not, we still have to fill it out. And because this is the deal. The company wants to know you met with the people. The company wants to know you've seen the people or talked to the people and that they're telling the truth. Security National will pull the medication report and match it up to this. And I know a lot of agents are like, well, why do I need to write it down if the company's going to go ahead and pull it? I understand that. But what it is it gives us an idea that you met and you saw them and you talked to them and that y'all went through the medications and why they're taking it, so that we have a better idea of the diagnosis. If you have kids, again, remember, under the age of 18 and they'll stay until 25, complete this section here and are in good shape. And then we're on the last 2 pages to wrap up here. So these right here, this is what you put the applicant's name up here and social again. Prescription authorization, this gives us the right to pull and look at the medicines, dated wherever it is, what state and what date. The proposed insured's printed name, and then the proposed, so you would print the name here. You'll put, Bill Jones there, and then the Bill Jones will sign here, okay, on the signature portion. And then if the owner is different, that's where they would go. Be careful right here. A lot of agents miss this, but number 4 is the proposed insured a family member, yes or no? You can write your family, your kids or your spouse or whoever. You'll get paid as earned. You'll get full commission, but paid as earned also on that one. But everything else is advanced. So it's a good deal. Go ahead and put a policy into play. And then your number 6 is your replacement. You will or will not replace anything. So if you will or you will not replace anything. And then you'll just, the agent will sign it, and the agent will print your name and put your agent number there. Okay, so that page is taken care of. And then we get over to the last page here, which is the billing information. And be careful here. For example, let's say, here's the example. Let's say that I am paying for Sandra's policy. So if I'm paying for Sandra's policy, basically Keelan's name is going to be right here. Oh, it's hard to see on that blue too. You got anything else? No. All right. So Keelan's name is going to be here. And then Keelan's name will also be right here. Okay, so Keelan, it's Keelan's bank account and Keelan's name and Keelan. Then who are we buying the policy for? We're buying it for Sandra. Okay, and then what'll happen is Keelan will come down here and sign as the, back this out a little bit more so we can see the whole thing, as the payor for Sandra, as the payor for Sandra. Lots of times Sandra is paying for her own policy. So in that case in point, Sandra would be up here. This would be Sandra also. Okay. Again, this routing number and account numbers, and those are important. So try to get those. And then the last, you can tear off this receipt right here, this conditional receipt. And I usually just do it like this. I tear it off and then I'll do a little writing on it, kind of hand scratching, just to give the client something. I'll put received from bill to Sandra on, 5/26/26/20222, the sum of whatever it may be, $52.23. And then right here below, I'll usually put, no, that's not it. Right here below, I'll start something. I'll put like draft on June 15th, so that they know that's when the first draft will come out. Or if it's an immediate draft, I'll put something different there. I'll just write a little notation right there, and then come down here and I'll sign it right here, and then put the agent's name. You'll type it right here, okay, and do that one. And then that is the application. So let me just roll through it again. We've got our names, we've got our owners, we got our payors, we got how are we going to pay for it, when are we going to pay for it, do you even qualify over here? If you do qualify, where you going to play? Are you going to be a preferred standard or a modified? You got blood pressure medicines here. You got all your medicines going here. Child rider. Go on down to, do you authorize we can run your prescriptions? Yes or no? And then here's my agent statement over here. And then we finalize it up and complete it with the payment process. Okay. So I want every single one of y'all to go in and practice this and practice this and practice this, because it's good for you to go in and just write one on yourself or download some of these. Again, when you want to download some, go over here to your order supplies. I don't know if you've done this yet, but everybody needs to, on your home screen, order your supplies. Okay. Go into applications. It's a little cumbersome looking right here. So go ahead and hit your language, English, and hit your state, and it will narrow it down. You'll see all your applications here. All right. And so those are there for you to order. Basically, when you open it up, you can order 15 of these, 10 of these, have them sent to your house. It'll be there in 3 to 5 days, and you won't have to print them off. You won't have to print them off. Okay. So the last thing too, just for anybody, I want to kind of clarify this too, is the COVID questionnaire. So here are the questions here. And but basically, let me just cut to the chase here. So the only time you will need a COVID questionnaire is if the person is 65 and older. That's one thing. And if they are trying to qualify for preferred or standard. Okay, because that's the only time you will need this questionnaire. So I don't want you to have to fill it out and go, man, I didn't use that. I didn't even have to do that. So the only time that you would need this is if in these case points right here, to where they're 65 and older and they are qualifying for a preferred or standard. Okay, so other than that, just throw this away. You won't need that on the COVID questionnaire. All right. So I'm going to leave that and go back over here and go to this. Okay. So I'm looking now at no questions. So hopefully I did a decent job of explaining how to complete a paper application. You would just take your application at that point in time and upload it into the system right here. Send it over to the company and you're in good shape. Okay. Upload and upload. All right. So that is how to complete a paper application for Security National Life, and how to go through the conversation with your people about, your health. Are you okay? Is it your lungs? Is it your heart? And it's my job as an agent to make sure I get you your best rate. So it's my job to go through these questions with you to make sure that everything is good. So I can either get you a preferred, standard, or modified plan, and get you some coverage, because that's what I do. I serve people. All right. So I hope you enjoyed the section on how to complete a paper application and send it to the company. If you're the one that wants to go out and be with people, or in your office, or somebody comes to your office, I hope that helps you out a lot. So I'm going to summarize here too. Everybody is doing a great job. Everybody is just really ramping up. Our goals, 2+ policies a month for everybody is a goal. I hope you can meet that. I just want to see you succeed, and all of us succeed in protecting families, because there's nothing better than the feeling of going in there and protecting families, and knowing that you're taken care of. Everybody's going to pass away one day, and you're going to start, as we get older, we see them going, we see them passing away, and it's day in and day out. I mean, just my heart goes out. The families of the Uvalde people in Uvalde, Texas, prayers and hearts go out to them. I can't even imagine, but it just also shows you that you never know. And unfortunately, every single one of those families is going to pay for a funeral for those kiddos, and I'm not saying that that's who we just go out and write, but we just never know when our day might come. And I want everybody to be prepared, and I want you to be able to have the ability to go out and talk to people about this in an open conversation, and just go, hey, listen, I protect families, and I'd love to help you have protection. I'd love to have you have a policy. I'd love to put one in place, because I want to be your family protector. I want to be the one that protects you. Okay. And I can help you serve. And I can serve you by showing you what we can do for you and how we can help you out. So, thank you so much for being on the line here today on how to complete a paper application. Thank you for the hour you've given me. I care about every single one of you. I want to see you succeed. Let me know what you need. Let me know anything specific. I will help you out. I'm there for you. Okay. Thank you for all you do. And as I always say in Texas, adios.